Da, 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 da. All right, what's up, guys? Hey, Lady O, what's going on? I really hope you're doing well. Wishing you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We have one of the first viewers ever to watch Walks on Wall Street here. It's a pretty cold night. We'll get started in a minute. Obviously, we are right at 34th Street, Penn Station. Beautiful view of the Empire State Building and the one and only Madison Square Garden. It's good to see everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. Whatever you choose to be celebrating. I want to go to the Hudson Yards first, and then we'll kind of double back to Macy's Herald Square and check things out. I see Troy Atman. What's up, Troy? Richard, thanks for joining. Hope you're having a good week so far. Michelle Frank, Lady O. This is a beautiful, crisp night. Definitely is. Almost Christmas Eve, so happy Christmas Eve to everybody. Lark, cheers is what's new. Not too much, just the same old. It's good to be back in New York, and hopefully we can finish the year strong. That's really all I could say. For sure. Vinny, Chloe, William. All right, everybody, let's start to head immediately to the Hudson Yards. Pretty excited to be checking that out. Obviously, on the commercial real estate front, things are looking pretty bright at the Hudson Yards. A lot of new lease signings. We have BlackRock expanding their office space. We have D.E. Shaw, now a new tenant right here. 1 Manhattan West. And it's going to look pretty festive tonight. Lena Sandoval, Sal, what's going on? Good to see you. S&P a little bit of a rally day today. Crypto market sold off. But ain't nothing but a thing, no worries. We're going to pass by B&H. Noy is here, D. Yeah, Lady O says I'm enjoying your showing videos. We have very exciting stuff coming on the market next year. I think you guys are going to be pretty excited to see some of our listings. Some pretty interesting stuff. And yeah, it's been a fun year. We've listed and sold a lot of real estate this year and some pretty high profile clients, which has been fun. I think the funnest or the most interesting listing our team had was Ty Pennington. I'm not sure if anybody is familiar with him, but he used to do that show Extreme Home Makeover, Home Edition, I think, which was always a really, really fun show to watch. Growing up, he has a really cool apartment on the High Line, which we sold for him, so hopefully he'll stay in New York, but maybe buy something else, who knows. But yeah, Ty, that was a really cool listing we had. Anyway, check this out. Pretty cool color scheme on the Empire State Building tonight. Esmeralda's here. Good to see you. Victor C, Mike G. What's going on? Mike, thanks for joining us. Once again, we're going to be headed towards the shops at the Hudson Yards. Rusty, what's going on? Chris, Alan, hopefully you had a good day, good week so far. I feel as if the week is pretty much over. It feels like a Friday, but it's not. It is Monday. But I think with Christmas Eve being tomorrow and then Christmas Day being the day after, this week is probably going to be pretty dead from a business standpoint, I'd assume. Anyway, Tatted T, always a pleasure to have you here. Chris, Lance, Ryan says, is this the nice/fun part of the city to live in? I think it just depends on what your preference is. I mean, there's a ton of fun parts of the city to live in. It just really depends on what you like to do. I think the city is so diverse as it relates to its neighborhoods. So if you like nightlife, the bar scene, maybe you like the village, maybe you like the East Village, maybe you like the West Village. If you like it a little bit more quiet and secluded, so to speak, maybe you like Sutton Place. I think there's a neighborhood for everybody in New York City, depending on what you like. I personally like Central Park South the best, as well as the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Not a big fan of the Upper East Side. Can't say that I am at all. But that's just me. I mean, what about you guys? If you had to pick one neighborhood, we ask this question all the time, what would it be? I think mine is going to be Central Park South because, in my opinion, okay, you're always going to do well if you buy something Central Park South, obviously between 5th Avenue and 8th. You're always going to do well because you obviously have Central Park right there. And it's always going to be a clean, safe neighborhood. And, that Central Park South address is very sought after. So I think you'll always do well. Wallace is Battery Park City. Now, Battery Park City is an interesting one because there's going to be a lot of changes happening down there in Lower Manhattan, Battery Park City. I haven't been down there in quite some time. Maybe I'll have to take a trip down there pretty soon because they're completely redoing the park down there and it's supposed to look stunning. So, Shane, what's going on? Thank you so much for your very generous $2 donation, and that is right, Lincoln Tunnel, as we head towards Hudson Yards. So thank you very much. Arsenal Fan 13 says Soho, love Soho. Chloe says 220 Central Park South. That's another really, really nice building. Now that building was developed by Vornado. We're going to be talking a lot about Vornado tonight. So right on the corner here of West 33rd Street, this is Black Rock. So at 50 Hudson Yards, this is the brand new headquarters of Black Rock, and they've actually expanded their footprint. So you have a lot of financial firms, a lot of big consulting, hedge fund business coming to the Hudson Yards and really just migrating to Class A office towers. Right, so oftentimes you'll read these stories about how horrible the commercial real estate market is in Manhattan, but I would say it's very bifurcated as such. You're seeing a big migration away from the older office towers to the new. Let's actually see if we can go inside. Just because it's freezing cold out. The Hudson Yards is always decorated really, really beautifully for the holidays, Christmas. And selfishly enough, I'm going to try to stay inside as much as possible for tonight's stream, just because it's pretty cold out, but it's not that bad, honestly. Amanal, what's going on? Hey, Kathleen. Good to see you. This is peaceful and Merry Christmas to you. Likewise, hopefully you and your family are doing well. As I've kind of said before, I view the Hudson Yards as its own standalone city within Manhattan. It's a pretty impressive development here. Lots of, obviously, Class A office towers, lots of prime retail, and luxury condominiums, too. The only thing, it's a little bit far away, right? It does still feel a little bit far away from everything. And it's quite windy and cold in the winter. It is quite windy, I'll say that. Yeah, man, Argentina is doing fantastic. Inflation is coming down. as Argentina kind of shifts towards free market capitalism, laissez-faire capitalism. So it is quite beautiful to see that, to say the least. Dutchman AZ, what's going on? The Mighty Bull is here. Emma, welcome. Well, I think we will do the nightly audio and visual check, even though we've been streaming for about 10 minutes. But it is tradition, so if you guys can hear us, and if we're also streaming in 1080p, just go ahead and leave a thumbs up in the chat, and we'll go ahead and get started. Once again, we're going to be exploring the Hudson Yards, specifically the shops at Hudson Yards, just to give you a glimpse of the new development that is headed up by Related. Zebatata, what's going on? Lady O, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Once again, hope you and the family are doing well. Hey, Mohammed Youssef is here. What's up, Mohammed? Mohammed is joining us from Egypt. Hopefully it's a lot warmer where you are as opposed to where we are, but happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you. Shane, what's going on? Says you get confused between Hoboken and Jersey City. Indeed. Lots of new development going up there too. They do a really good job decorating this. Lady O says, am I headed to Long Island for Christmas? I probably will. I'm probably going to stay in the city for Christmas Eve, but I will be headed to the island Christmas Day, that is for sure. Sunshine After Rain, welcome. Now there also is part 2 of Hudson Yards that is set for construction. Apparently there's going to be a casino, a public school, so lots of new development even still at the Hudson Yards. This is my favorite part of the shops, this kind of grand entrance here. I'll kind of pan the camera upwards so you can see, but they do a really good job with the decorations. Professor Dario is here from Argentina. What's going on, Professor? We were just briefly mentioning the really impressive progress that Argentina is going through. Inflation's coming down. Markets are roaring, and I think that's going to bring about what I like to call phase 2 for Argentina, which is going to be the attraction of outside capital, maybe even capital from the US. That's really the key for Argentina, right? The key for Argentina is to, first of all, prove that the new economic policy is working. And once it is working, which I believe it is, right, and inflation is under control, that kind of gives the green light for outside capital, foreign capital, to enter into Argentina and provide investment. And that's really what's going to even boost the economy more. Let's head outside and check out the vessel. Kind of curious to... But wow, this place looks incredible here. There's a good restaurant in here. I believe it's called Queen's Yard. They have good steak, overlooks the vessel. Really beautiful place. All right, let's go ahead and head outside. Ooh, a little windy tonight. Good thing we have the... All right, let me just adjust the camera for a second. All right, so this is the main valet. You have the shed building to your left. And then here you have the main vessel, which, by the way, it's open again, thank God. There was a short time when the vessel was closed for reasons which we won't discuss. Hey, Ben, what's going on? Yeah, I'll check my email. Yeah, we missed each other in Miami, but we will probably for sure meet up at some point, but it's good to see you. Cameron is here. Thank you so much for your $10 donation. This is what are your plans for Christmas? I'm going to stay local. I'm probably just going to head out to the island, Long Island, New York, and just hang out with the family, maybe come into the city late to do the show, do the broadcast. And happy Hanukkah to all of our Jewish viewers. All right, let's do one lap around the vessel here. Ooh, Ben, hopefully you're recovering. Lori says my rent has gone up $5,000 more a year. That takes money out of my local economy. We wonder why small businesses can't survive. Ooh, are you talking about like a commercial lease or something for your business? Definitely explain a little bit more. Oh, this is a cool shot here. Look at that. Someone's asking me my thoughts about the subway incident. I don't know. I don't really have any thoughts on it. It's just terrible. It's tragic, but I'm honestly not surprised it happened. The subways, particularly at night, is just a horror show, just to be blunt. But not to be negative, but the subway is just... Because, look, I'm out, again, more than anybody, and I ride the subways late at night, early in the morning, and it is indescribable, the stuff that you come across. So I'm actually not surprised that happened. I've seen crazy stuff, but, hopefully, I don't know, hopefully it changes. It's terrible, but... Man, Hudson Yards looks really incredible. Here's another shot of the vessel, which is now back open. So if you guys want to visit New York and go up into the vessel, you can. Let's go and check out New Jersey. And to the right is that Equinox Hotel, which is really nice. It's a 5-star hotel, but it is expensive. So this is now overlooking the West Side Yard. All those train cars that you see are the Long Island Railroad cars. This is where they go to get serviced. To the north, you have the Jacob Javits Center. And then here you have all luxury condominiums. They do an amazing job, though, with the decorations. We'll do one more lap around, and then we'll head to 34th Street, Herald Square. And then hopefully by that time, a lot of the tourists will be a little bit thinned out, so we could head uptown without it being too much buffering. Shane, thank you so much for your $2 donation. Yeah, we just quickly took a peek at New Jersey. Look at this. This is a Jack Daniels Christmas tree here. Hey, what's up, Kevin? Says, hey, Tom, what is the difference between the Long Island Railroad and a New York subway system? Yeah, so the LIRR, which is the Long Island Railroad, will take you to Long Island. So if you think about New York City, right, you have the 5 boroughs in New York City, which includes Queens and Brooklyn. And geographically speaking, Queens and Brooklyn are on Long Island, right? So you have Brooklyn, Queens, and then what we consider Long Island is Nassau County, Suffolk County. So all of those towns, if you live on the island, Nassau, Suffolk County, you could take the train into the city, which is called the Long Island Railroad. So you could either just buy a monthly pass, which I used to do back in the day, which has now gotten ridiculously expensive. I think it's well over $500 now, depending on which zone you're in. But that is the transportation from Long Island into the city, and it drops you off Penn Station, or finally now, we have the East Side Access Project that has been completed, which will bring you to Grand Central Station. So the subway, right, you pay the $2 and whatever it is. I don't even know how much it is anymore. But the Long Island Railroad is probably just a lot cleaner, a lot safer, but it takes you to the island. All right, let's make a right. Yeah, Professor, I think you're right. $2.90 for the subway. I just use the Apple Pay to get in now. I don't really pay attention to the prices anymore because you don't have to buy a MetroCard anymore. You know, there's going to come a time when MetroCards are obsolete. You know, we had a conversation last night about, you know, technology, money, specifically Bitcoin. I mean, just think about the progression with the New York City transit system. Now, who here in the audience is old enough where you were taking the subway and you had the subway tokens? Does anybody remember that? Now, there's no more subway tokens anymore, obviously. Then they turned to the MetroCards, and now the MetroCards are even being, you know, funneled out. So it's just a natural progression in technology. If everybody has Apple Pay, if everybody has, you know, Samsung Pay, you're not even going to have a need for MetroCards anymore. Damn, Dave says, I remember when the 15 cents subway token. Jeez. Mike G. Yeah, so I mean, even though it's like a very niche example here in New York City, it just really goes to show the technological advancements of everything. But people, by and large, like to resist technology just because it's something they're not comfortable with, right? We're creatures of habit. Humans are creatures of habit. So when you go outside of your habit, you get very uncomfortable, so to speak, right? So if you're used to paying for the subway with the subway token, you're going to have resistance when you switch to the MetroCard. And if you're comfortable using the MetroCard, you're going to have resistance, you know, switching to the Apple Pay. But so you always should try to lean into technology and not fight it. Omega Sparrow says, what is the name of the mall? This is the Shops at the Hudson Yards. So once again, it is called the Shops at Hudson Yards. There's a lot of high-end retailing in here, lots of really good restaurants. I think you're going to have an Eataly coming here, if Lady O is still here. She always loves to go to Eataly. They're going to have a location here, I believe, in the spring of 2025. I was reading that on The New Yorker the other day. There's going to be an Eataly coming here. But it's an awesome place. It's beautiful in here. Hey, Cameron, thank you so much for your very kind and generous $10 donation. This is Tom. Have you ever been inside the Manor in Oriental, New York, or did you have any meetings there? It looks like a great hotel to visit. Yeah, I've been in there a few times. Now, there's actually there's a new location for the residences. So the Mandarin Oriental Hotel currently is in the Deutsche Bank Tower, which is formerly known as the Time Warner Center. That's the related group built that building called the Time Warner Center. Then Deutsche Bank, which is the German bulge bracket investment bank, they have now left Wall Street. They used to be at 60 Wall Street. They have now taken over that Time Warner Center. And the Mandarin Oriental is in the northernmost tower of that building. It's really nice, and they have a cool restaurant that you can go and eat at. Now, the second location is the Residences. It's called the Mandarin Oriental Residences on 5th Avenue. It's a new development project. I believe sales are actively going right now. And that's a really cool project. Has really good views of 5th Avenue. But yeah, I haven't had any business meetings there, but I have eaten at the restaurant, which has good views overlooking Columbus Circle, which is great. But thanks again for your support and your donation. Merry Christmas to you. Lori says, I'm a creature of habit. I want normal food prices again. Well, no guarantee of that. Seems like prices go up every year regardless. Jimmy B, what's going on? Happy holidays to you. Thanks so much for joining. Professor Dario says, have you ever been to Saber Argentino in New York City? I haven't. I'll have to look that up. Let me take a screenshot of that. I honestly have not. Hey, what's up, Hassan B? His rooms are well aged and needs renovation though. Nevertheless, amazing park views. Yeah, it's crazy to think that that hotel is already kind of getting a little bit old, right? Hassan, if you like that neighborhood, like Columbus Circle kind of neighborhood, I would suggest to check out the Park Hyatt New York, which is in 157. Oops, looks like we got a little bit of a spill. It smells good though, this spill. It's a wine bottle. I'm not a big drinker, but occasionally, I think I may want to become like a wine collector. I don't know. I'm for some reason, YouTube has been serving me up these wine videos, and they are so addicting. So addicting. There's like a whole entire category on YouTube about these people who, I mean, they just know so much about every different wine, what region it comes from, the vineyard it comes from. It's like very intriguing. It's like a whole art in and of itself. It's very cool. Anyway, but the Park Hyatt is awesome. It is inside the first building ever constructed on Billionaires Row. It's an X-Tail building. It's called 157 or 157 West 57th Street. And it's very modern, very new. Park Hyatt, 2 thumbs up. Hassan Beast's Four Seasons reopened as well. Yeah, Four Seasons is nice. I think you're talking about the one that's right in front of 432 Park Avenue. Now, I was talking with a friend of mine about that reopening. Hold on, let me just head outside here for a second. I gotta put my hood up so I don't get sick. All right, back to the cold. But anyway, you know, about that Four Seasons Hotel, if you want to look up the property, it's on 57th Street, right on Billionaires Row. I was having a conversation with my friend the other day, and what they're doing is they've actually condominiumized some of the hotels on the lower levels of the Four Seasons on Billionaires Row. So you're actually going to be able to buy a condo at the Four Seasons, 57th Street. Now here's the only kind of the downside. And I think many of you will agree with me, maybe some of you will disagree, but if you think about, like, try to visualize us walking down 57th Street, right? The Four Seasons is right in front of 432 Park Avenue, okay, one of the tallest buildings in New York City. So they're going to try to command very, very high price per square foot for those condos at the Four Seasons. I don't know what they're going to launch sales at, but if I had to guess, it's probably going to be well north of $2,500 a foot, maybe even $3,000, $3,500 a foot. And they're going to have no views. I mean, if you think about it, the lower levels of the Four Seasons, Billionaires Row, you're looking right into 432 Park. Now, 432 Park is a great building, but I don't know if I would want to look right into it. Maybe I would want to buy something at 432 Park, but we'll see how it goes. We'll have to monitor the sales there, but it'll be interesting to see. All right, so we're going to head back 34th Street, Herald Square. If you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. Jack says a foot. Yeah. Probably $2,500 to $3,000 a foot. Probably even more, to be quite honest. 31 says I saw a video of a penthouse at 432 Park. A disappointing layout. Now, which penthouse are you talking about? There are a lot of them. But I think I know which one you're referring to. Hey, Chris, thanks so much. I'm glad you're enjoying. I wonder why the color scheme is rainbow in here. I don't know. In my opinion, I think the two best buildings, right, if you're going to compare the buildings on Billionaires Row, you really got to be centered on the park. Now, 432 Park Avenue is a beautiful, beautiful building. It's unbelievable. But I don't think it's better than 157, particularly if you're on a high floor, because you're dead centered. You're essentially equidistant, right? You're equidistant between 5th Avenue and 8th Avenue. And you have this dead-on view of the park. Now, there's also some units at 157 that quite literally hover just above the Essex House Hotel sign, which is really unbelievable. So, I mean, if I had the money, I would try to buy a unit at 157 that sits just right on top of the Essex House, that hotel, the main sign there, because that is a really, really unique view. You're right above the Essex House, overlooking Central Park. It's a really, really unique building. Yeah, Lady-O, I think that place is a macaroon place. The one that we just passed at Hudson Yards, I think you're right. Matthew M., what's going on? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Doc Sevens is 220 Central Park South, Vernado, Uptown. Yeah, I mean, that's the best-selling building on the row. It's the best-selling building on Billionaires Row. A lot of people like the limestone kind of facade, very similar to what you have at 15 Central Park West, right? I know we have a lot of people in the audience that love 15 Central Park West. Just an amazing building, really, really nice. But, you know, the windows can seem a little bit small if you really, really like views. You know, those floor-to-ceiling glass windows that you have at 157 are really, really hard to beat, to be honest. But 15 Central Park West is great. Dan Loeb and Lloyd Blankfein have really nice units at 15 Central Park West. Hey, Miss Bash, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Hassan B says, I'm thinking of buying at 53 West 53rd Street. Hassan, I have a really, really good friend that I talked to, and he really wants to buy at 53 West 53rd as well. I just don't. Now, don't get me wrong. I like 53 West 53rd, but I think a lot of the floor plans have those sloping windows, which kind of eat up a lot of the square footage, and those beams are too angular, so they block a lot of the views. I think you know what I'm talking about if you've ever toured the building. Like, it's aesthetically pleasing from the outside, but from the inside, all of those angular beams, they do two things. Number one, they block the views, right? And number two, if you're looking at like a 2,500 square foot or a 2,000 square foot apartment there, which is pretty big, you know, what is really usable square footage there with those sloping ceilings? But obviously it depends on which unit. But look, I've toured clients through a lot of those units, and a lot of them are sloping. I will say this. They're very flexible right now to get deals done at 53 West 53rd. That's all I'll say. So if you're interested in a sponsor unit, right, a sponsor sale to buy right from the developer, you can probably negotiate a really good deal right now from them. They'll probably pay the transfer taxes. They'll probably pay the mansion taxes for you. So I think you could probably score a pretty good deal. There's a few units in particular I'd know that they'd move at a very aggressive price. If you send me an email, I'll key you in on it, but maybe that'll be a story for another day. Anyway, guys, this is a beautiful building here. This is the Moynihan Train Hall. This is the post office side. It's just such a beautiful building. Really, really beautiful building. Thank God that they never took it down during the renovations to the train station. They left the post office intact. It's just an unbelievable building here in New York City. Hey, Go for Hockeys. What's going on? Cheers. Jack is here. Judas, Merry Christmas to you as well. Ben says they have a $70 million penthouse at 432 Park Avenue, which is yeah, I think you can combine some of the units. Hold on, let me put my gloves on for a second. It's freezing out. Anyway, let's go ahead and make this right on 33rd Street, and we'll check out the brand new entrance to the Long Island Railroad. Hassan Beast is on 53rd Street as well. Baccarat is an option, but the views are really horrible. They are very horrible. I always say that the one thing that you shouldn't compromise on in New York City in my opinion, is the views. Because in my view, you should always think about resale value when you buy. And here's the thing. New York has very, very stiff competition for new buildings. I mean, think about all of the buildings that have gone up in New York City since 157 West 57th Street, right? Which is the pioneering building on Billionaires Road. There's a lot of new product. So you could lose your shirt very, very quickly in the luxury real estate market. So you want to buy something that's a one of one, that is so unique, that is very, very bespoke. So if you see something and you're like, you know what, this doesn't have the best views, but it's pretty nice, I think I'll compromise. At that price point and at that level, don't compromise. Wait until you find the perfect, like bang on, unbelievable view, because those deals do come on the market. And I think it's worth to wait because, you know, think about the pipeline of new development for the next 5 years in New York City. There's a lot of new development pipeline coming up. So if you're going to sell your unit and trade out of your unit in 5 years to 10 years, you're going to have a lot of competition. And if you have views that are kind of obstructed, if the apartment's a little bit dark, you're going to get hosed. So I would stick to the best of the best units. If you're buying luxury real estate, which is like $5 million plus in Manhattan, you want to buy like the best. It's kind of like, you know, trading stocks. You could buy any stock on the market, right? William J. O'Neill used to say this all the time, the founder of Investors Business Daily. He's like, look, you can buy any stock on the market. You could buy a penny stock, you could buy a company going out of business, or you could buy the leader. You could buy the best of the best company that's producing the best earnings, the most powerful earnings growth. Go for the best. Don't settle for second best. Oh, look at this. This is pickleball. I guess you could rent out pickleball courts here. Very cool. Hassan B's as well. Views, you can get a good deal at Trump Tower. The issue is, again, to have to renovate and have that headache. So are you talking about the Trump Tower on 5th Avenue? Because, yeah, I mean, the prices are low there. The common charges are really high, like your overhead is really, really high. And you're right, a lot of the product there hasn't been renovated, so you're going to have to do a complete gut. It kind of looks retro in there, but pretty good views of Central Park, really good views. Hey, Lena, good to see you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you and your family. We're now right here at Plaza 33. This is the brand new Vornado Pen 2 project. Looking quite festive. We have more pickleball people here. This actually looks pretty fun. Nick says, which real estate is more expensive, Miami and New York City? I guess it all depends, but I believe the most expensive neighborhood, a neighborhood in Miami, Florida, just beat out a neighborhood in California. Coral Gables, Miami, is the most expensive neighborhood now in the U.S. So once again, everybody, if you're just joining, we're kind of doing a quick tour of the new Pen 2 project by Vornado. There's a lot of new retail shops here, new office space. It's pretty cool. And that is the brand new entrance to the Long Island Railroad. Miss Bash says, do I play any sports? Not anymore. I used to play soccer. I played soccer in college, but I'm old and I'm washed up and I'm a little bit too crickety to play any sports. I do stay active though. I run a lot, I lift. What do you guys think? Anybody here play pickleball? Anyway. Hey, Jonathan from Florida. What's going on? Jonathan, just once again, I really do appreciate you, my friend. I came back from Miami, Florida, and I had a ton of mail on my desk. My boss was like, what is all this mail? Who's sending you all this mail? A lot of you guys sent me a lot of stuff for the holidays, which I do appreciate very much. Jonathan from Florida, thank you for sending me the really nice calendar, which I have up on my desk, the Florida snowman. So I really am appreciative of that. So thank you very much. And everybody else who sent me stuff too to my office, thank you. I have like boxes and letters. So thank you for that. All right, here we are. Hen 2. So here you can get the Long Island Railroad, 123 AC and E trains. Nick says Indian Creek is extremely expensive, but I think it's worth it. Now, if anybody here is interested in owning a portfolio, like a very, very unique portfolio in Miami, specifically on Fisher Island, I have a good friend who's looking to essentially offload and exit his entire portfolio on Fisher Island. So let me know. Or if you know of anybody who is specifically interested in Fisher, we're trying to do like an off-market transaction, not even list it. So let me know. Let me know if anybody has any connections on Fisher Island or anything. Man, just there's such a difference. Madison Square Garden, brand new entrance. This looks great. New England Crypto, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Cosmos says, why not list it? There's a few different reasons. It really depends on the client. Sometimes the client doesn't want the publicity, so to speak, if it's like a very, just depending on who the person is or, you know, what the portfolio is. And sometimes at that price point, you know, you could just market it to specific people you have in mind. But yeah, there's a lot of different reasons as to why, but wow, look at that. I wonder why you have the rainbow colors on the Empire tonight. I mean, it looks really great. Color scheme looks great. Just an amazing difference from what it used to be to what it is now. Nick's, as a matter of fact, I'll contact you after the holidays. Yeah, let me know. But it's a pretty big portfolio, and it's very, very impressive. Now, this particular individual just wants out of Florida and wants to relocate to Houston. All right, let's head over to Macy's Herald Square, and then we'll head back up to Radio City Music Hall. Yeah, Ben says Sunny Isles Beach is pretty much empty. I have a unit there, and I haven't met a single neighbor on my floor. I don't stay there. I don't know. I was just in Florida, and now, yeah, there's a lot of kind of vacant apartments in Sunny Isles, but I went to that, what's that steakhouse? I forget the name of it. Something 38, Cut 38. I went there in Sunny Isles Beach just last week. The place was packed. Place was absolutely packed. I don't know. I like Sunny Isles Beach, to be honest. Particularly, I think that's the best beach in Miami. It's very quiet. There's virtually no tourists. And outside a lot of the really nice buildings there, if you talk about like the Porsche Design Tower, the Turnberry Ocean Club and Residences, they actually rake the beach every day. So you get fresh sand every single day. It's really nice over there. I live very close to Sunny Isles Beach. So if you drive over that big bridge, the Intracoastal, right? You go over the Intracoastal, that's me. I'm right there. Hey, Janie, thank you so much for your very kind donation. Thank you for the support. And thank you for watching, and hopefully you and your family have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a good New Year. Again, thank you for the support. All right, so we are now on 34th Street, and we're going to bang this right and check out the facade of Macy's. Hazer's here. Good to see you. Thanks so much. Jonathan in Florida says, I've never been to Sunny Isles Beach. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, Sunny Isles is great. Now, you know what is also amazing? If you have time, if you're visiting Miami, Florida, I want you to check out Hallover Park and the Hallover Inlet, specifically Hallover Marina. If you go to Hallover Marina, there's so many fish. You'll see dolphins, you'll see manatees, just so much beautiful wildlife. Oftentimes I just take my Vespa and I cruise down to Hallover Marina, I look at all the boats, and there's so many fish. I don't know what attracts all the fish, but you'll see everything. You'll see, I mean, it's just unbelievable. I think I have a few YouTube videos up on the channel, but the brand new Hallover is unreal. The place is amazing. It's right before you go over to Bal Harbor, which is another great neighborhood. Yeah, Patriots NFL 1. This Hallover Inlet is the ultimate test for boats. Now, I saw the guy who runs that pretty decent YouTube channel. It's honestly one of my favorites just to kind of put up and watch during the day. Wavy Boats. Wavy Boats. So he flies this drone over Hallover and kind of films all the boats going through the big waves. It is an awesome channel. I sometimes have it up at work just to kind of have it up in the background. So here we are at Macy's. can see the facade with all the Christmas decorations here. Nick's is in between Sunny Isles and Bal Harbour. Yeah. So if you're on the main drag there, right, Collins Avenue, the last building in Sunny Isles Beach before you hit Hollover is the Ritz-Carlton. That new Ritz-Carlton Tower. And then you go through Hollover Beach, you go past Hollover Marina, over the Hollover Inlet, and then that'll bring you to Bal Harbour. And then through Surfside too, which is an awesome town at night. Really good restaurants there. But in my humble opinion, my favorite neighborhood of all time is just south of Surfside. So it goes Bal Harbour, Surfside, and then North Beach. North Beach is really where you want to go. North Beach is Little Buenos Aires, and it has a lot of restaurants from Argentina, lots of bakeries from Argentina, coffee shops. It's just an awesome time. Whenever I'm down there, I spend the majority of my time there. All right, this is 6th Avenue. We're going to make a left. It's pretty busy. Maybe we'll have enough time to go up by Bryant Park. Hey, what's up, Brad? Good to see you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas Eve. Mapas is good hotel in Midtown. I'm going on the 27th. Well, what is your budget? Do you have a specific budget for the hotel? Really, depending on the price point, I can give you recommendations accordingly. Yeah, Silver says it's not the weather that you have to worry about nowadays in Florida. It is the homeowner's insurance. That is so true. The homeowner's insurance is pretty expensive. My homeowner's insurance is over, I think it's $4,500 a year. But to me, it's worth it. That's kind of the cost of living in paradise. The homeowner's insurance is $4,500, and my property taxes are over $8,000 a year now. But to be honest, when you wake up every day, the sun is out, palm trees, you just jump on the Vespa, you could ride to the beach. It's like, I'll write a check for 20 grand a year for the insurance. You know, that's how amazing it is. It's worth it. It's kind of like you get what you pay for. So I'm not complaining. It's just the price of admission. That's kind of the way I think about it. Or else you just kind of stress yourself out about, oh my God, I'm paying so much. But look, if you want to live in paradise, that's the price you got to pay. That's what it is, what it is. It's worth it for the mental health. Whenever I go down to Miami, it's just, I feel like a new person down there. Yeah, NBA Elias says you'll be catching up to California property taxes soon. Well, here's the thing. A comparable house, like if I were to have bought a comparable property on Long Island, that property tax bill would probably be a little bit more than double, maybe just a hair under $20,000 a year. So it's still a lot cheaper than if I were to buy on Long Island, right? So it's like, look, and at the end of the day, I mean, if you think about it, you know, the public schools in Miami are not that great. So with my property taxes getting jacked, it's like, you know, and with a lot of people moving down to Miami-Dade, I mean, the property taxes, the revenue is just sick. It's unbelievable. So, look, maybe the public schools are going to be really, really great, and these kids are going to get a really, really good education. They're going to get really, really good jobs, and a lot of the surrounding neighborhoods are going to improve, right? You kind of have to think about the trickle-down effects of that, you know? Like, think about like a 10-year time horizon. Here's a new development right here. So hopefully, you know, the property taxes won't be squandered, and, you know, public education will get better down there. You know, if you think about the comparison, there's always this comparison about, you know, is New York City or is Miami going to compete with New York City for the best finance talent, the tech talent? It's very difficult right now for very, very good schools down there. And I don't really know too much about the schools, but from my friends who have moved down there that have some pretty big, high-level positions in finance, apparently it's very difficult to find a comparable school like you would in Manhattan or something. I don't know. So hopefully, you know, maybe that'll improve the schools. Jonathan from Florida says, I have the homestead exemption. My taxes are $1,800. Very nice. Damn, that's awesome. That is awesome, man. All right, so we're walking up 6th Avenue, or Avenue of the Americas, and we're about to run into Bryant Park. NBA Elias says, Tom saw an article where the San Francisco Bay Area and Austin, Texas has more jobs with $500,000 salaries than anywhere else in America. I definitely believe that, for sure. San Francisco, I mean, if you want to work in tech, I would say the San Francisco Bay Area is, you know, is where to go. It's kind of like if you want to work on Wall Street or if you want to work in finance, you know, New York City is where you want to go.
The jelly.
Here we are looking up towards the Bank of America Tower. Yeah, Alan says Amex is reporting earnings tomorrow. Pretty excited to hear about that one. Should be interesting. Amex is usually more of a high-end consumer, and I think earnings will be pretty good. Douglas is Tom. I would argue Austin, Nashville, and Raleigh, North Carolina, are also good for tech. Yeah, the Carolinas have been booming over the last few years. Not too familiar with the Carolinas, north or south, but it has been rather trendy. Not a place I would want to live, but Brad, this is Raleigh is my favorite airport. Why is that, out of curiosity? I've never been there. Cruises 2024 felt like a single month for me. Same here, honestly. Same here. Lori says, do I have a view in Florida? I don't live in a condo. I have a two-family, well, a home that I converted into a two-family. But my view is palm trees. I have mango trees. I have oranges. I have lemons. What else do I got? I have collusia. I have a bunch of stuff in my yard. I mean, the view is awesome. My thesis with Miami-Dade County is I wouldn't. Well, I'll rephrase that. For me, as an investment standpoint, I wouldn't buy in a condo down there because you have to think about the supply, the future supply. There's going to be a ridiculous amount of condo supply coming on the market, a ridiculous amount, but there's a finite amount of single-family supply, right? You're not building more single-family homes in Miami-Dade County. It's just not possible. And it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make financial sense to build new single-family homes because there's a limited amount of land, right? If you go further west of Hialeah, that's the Everglades, right? So my thought is, there's always going to be a market for people who just want to live in a nice single-family home, kind of American dream, white picket fence stuff, right? They don't want to live in a condo. Maybe they're sick of it. They just want their own spot. So if I can accumulate some single-family homes or two families there, I think they would act as a good rental portfolio, and maybe I could roll them up and sell them later on in life. Sam says, how do you afford? You just got to work. You got to get out there and work, make money, work, invest your money, save your money. You got to get in the game. You got to get on the field and just work. I don't know. And it's actually less money, right? It's more money here. I actually make money on my property in Miami. It cash flows very, very nicely. So I pretty much live for free. I think that's the best way to get started in real estate is buy your home, right? Or buy like a duplex or a triplex, live on one side of it and rent out the others. Even if it's just a single family home, put the money down, live in one of the rooms and rent out the other rooms and kind of house hack the deal, right? It's going to suck for the first couple of years because nobody wants to live with roommates, but at least you're building equity, right, in your property. And then maybe after 8 years, you could move out of the room, move somebody else in the room, Now the property is really cash flowing, and you could go buy another place, right, and repeat the process. So that's how I got started in the real estate business, is just buy a property and rent out the individual rooms. And if you run the numbers and the deal cash flows, you should do the deal. Wow, look at that. The whole fountain is nearly completely frozen now. Wow, that's crazy. Let's get a closer look. That is insane. It's just like one big block of ice now. That's nuts. Hey, what's up, Kevin? Good to see you. Cosmo, welcome. Joel PM, cheers. Says, at what point do they sand fill the Everglades and build more? I think legally they're not allowed to. I think the Everglades will be protected forever. Buy myself a Christmas present. No, I usually don't. Maybe I'll get something interesting. I don't know. Western Mass Dave, what's going on? Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. I'm not a big watch guy. Somebody's like, get yourself a nice watch. I don't know. I know a lot of people who are really big watch addicts, like they're obsessed with watches. I just don't see I don't know. I'm just not a big watch guy, and I think I would lose it. So I don't trust myself with any type of jewelry or anything like that. I know I would lose it. So, hey, Ipadilla, what's going on? And thank you, by the way. I think you sent me a really nice package to my office, so I really do appreciate it. So thank you very much. I got it yesterday when I came back from Miami, so thank you for that. I do appreciate that very much. So Merry Christmas to you, and thank you for the support. I think maybe I'll just try to spend more time in Miami, I guess. Warm weather. Maybe that'll be my gift. Man, the Bryant Park Christmas tree looks really good. Hey, what's up, Yogi? Good to see you. Now, a lot of people are watch collectors. I don't really drink at all, but I think I want to get into collecting wine. I don't know why. I'm like very intrigued by it. I'm very intrigued. "20-year aged bottle," which is like, I think it's like over $1,000. I just have it at the office. Anyway, this is the Bryant Park Grill. Yeah, Brad's brain says, buy yourself that ugly truck you want. The Cybertruck, I'm down. Once I'm positive I could spend a little bit more time in Florida, I'll definitely be getting a Cybertruck, but I kind of want to wait for the next Cybertruck to come out. Jax's wine is a very interesting craft. Bobby B's is my father. Had a bottle of Widow Jane. Very cool. Yeah. I think it's 180 Conover Street is Widow Jane. It's right across the street from this building we were selling. It's a very cool neighborhood. Red Hook, Brooklyn. Very cool. And I never really spent much time over in Red Hook either. I know. Brad, I was looking at that on X the other day. 0 to 60 in 1 second for the Tesla Roadster. That thing is insane. I mean, I can't even really comprehend that, to be honest. I mean, the future is so bright for Tesla, it's unbelievable. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and bang this left, and then we'll bang another right, and we'll head up Avenue of the Americas. Wow, Steven says, Tom, I have 200 bottles of wine in my collection. I end up drinking a lot. Steven, I would be very, very interested. Send me a picture of your collection and email it to me somehow. I'd love to take a look at it. If I buy my place in New York, I want to build out, like, one of my dreams is to build out like a kind of a library / wine room. Like, if you've ever been to the Morgan Library, that's the kind of vibe I'm talking about. Like, all the really nice detailed wood paneling all over. And I think it'd be interesting to have all the books up on the wall, all the nice built-ins, and then maybe have, like, section it off and make like a wine room or a wine cellar or something. It's pretty cool. I follow this guy. He's a pretty big money manager on X, but he also runs this wine account. I'm trying to think of the name. I follow it on X. It's interesting. It's a very interesting business. Feliz Navidad, indeed. When I was in Miami, they had this Christmas concert, and it was in Spanish. It was like the most unique thing because Christmas doesn't really feel like Christmas when it's 80 degrees. But it was very cool because it was a cool concert. It was at the North Beach Band Shell. I went. It was very cool. Palm trees. They were singing Christmas carols in Spanish. It was like a very tropical scene. It was very cool. That's one of my 2025 goals. I want to improve my Spanish. I know I'm not going to be fluent in it in a year, but enough where I'll be able to hold a real conversation in Spanish. That's my goal for 2025. I think I'll get there in time. I think it's very important. You know, talking about the investment business and just business in general, I think one of the biggest mistakes that traditional American families have made throughout generations is not teaching their kids a second language. Like, a lot of the Italian immigrants that came to the United States, they actually wouldn't teach their kids Italian because they wanted, you know, only English. But in the business world, I mean, it's so important to, I mean, just think about how much more valuable you'd be if you knew English, if you knew, Spanish, if you could communicate and do business in multiple different languages. It just makes you more valuable. So that's going to be a priority for me. Spanish, Korean. Jax is French. Well, they speak a lot of French up in Canada. All right, if you look all the way in the distance, yeah, someone says Mandarin, true. You could see the Steinway Tower, which is the skinniest residential apartment building. Portuguese, yeah. Hey, Tom H says, hey Tom, Merry Christmas from Okeechobee, Florida. What's going on? Hopefully it's a lot warmer where you are. Merry Christmas to you. Kevin says, I think the two most important languages we should speak other than English and Chinese is Spanish. Yeah, English, Chinese, Spanish. Very important. Oh, wow. Brad's brain says because they wanted to assimilate. You're right. It's interesting because then, the world kind of opened up through globalization, right? With globalization, and really just with tech in general, you can do business with everybody. Sometimes I just look at the analytics, like the YouTube analytics for the live stream, and there's people from all over the world that watch, right? Now, there's probably a good percentage of those people that can't speak English, but if I knew how to speak Spanish, if I knew how to speak Korean, I could communicate with a whole different audience, and honestly, maybe even do business with a whole other audience, right? I mean, think about if you're in the sales business, particularly the real estate sales business, and you're selling real estate in Manhattan. Well, there's a lot of international buyers. So it would be very helpful to speak Mandarin. It'd be very helpful to speak Spanish, to speak Portuguese, to speak Korean, right? So, I mean, it really broadens your skill set. It makes you more valuable as a person to do business with if you know multiple different languages. So I'd say that's probably my biggest, not regret, because I didn't know any better. Growing up, if I could hammer on one skill, it would be just to learn as many languages as possible so you can communicate and do business with as many people as possible. Yeah, I want to be GMO. So speak C++. I could speak a little bit of C++, Java, Python, C#, Node. I wouldn't say I'm like a full stack engineer, but I can code. I am a autodidact in the computer science world. All right, you can see Radio City in the distance. We're getting closer. Hey, what's going on? Hopefully you have a wonderful holiday season. Jax's artificial intelligence will come with interpretation of languages. Now, you know what was the most fascinating video I've seen this month? It was these AI earphones, like headphones, right? And if you wanted to talk to somebody, let's say like a family member only speaks Spanish, and you know, you can only communicate with them in Spanish, but you want to speak to them in English or something, like help them learn. It's this AI earpiece that you could wear, and when you talk, it automatically translates what you're saying to their earphones. It's very, very cool. I mean, think about the barriers that's going to break down in the business world. If you're at a big meeting or something and everybody's just wearing an earpiece and it automatically translates. Like, that is very, very cool. All right, this is the Fox News Corporation. If you guys are enjoying the live stream tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these live streams roughly every day, starting at 8:45. Yeah, Dave, you're right. Every tree is awesome this year. Now, there is one tree that we haven't seen this year, which is the Wall Street tree. I haven't been down there yet. I've been spending too much time in South Florida, so I'll have to go down there tomorrow. Maybe we'll start the stream early tomorrow and check it out. But that is one tree I have yet to see. All right, this is West 48th Street. Hey, TD. Good to see you, Teresa. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Brad, I think we'll have a blow-off. I think that's the cycle target for Tesla. And we'll have our blow-off top there. Hey, what's up, Mark? Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. You know, I forgot to tell you, Mark, when I was in Miami, I was able to play some golf in North Miami Beach. Golf game is not good, and I think that's being a little bit generous, but we're getting better a little bit. Hopefully you've been able to play some golf as well. But Brad, I think you know, if we get our end of year Q1 correction, like if you look at Tesla right now, we've just essentially just retested the breakout into new highs. You know, that thing can run, but I think the cycle high for Tesla will be that big round number, Livermore number of 1,000. Now that may take, 18 months to get there, but I think that'll be the blow-off number for sure. So we're about to come up on the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree here. It's going to be just off to the left. I will say this, post-inauguration, once we get the presidential inauguration out of the way, I think you're going to have a lot of deal-making activity explode early on in the year. You'll see a lot of takeovers, you'll see a lot of mergers. Hey, what's up, Deborah S? Thanks so much. Christmas tree looks beautiful this year. We're on the corner of 49th Street and Rockefeller Plaza. We have two Santa Claus. I wonder which one's the real one. Let's see if we got many people skating at the ice skating rink. I like how the NYPD closes down the entire street. Hey, what's up, Hal T? Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for joining us. A lot of people out tonight. NBA Alliance says, Tom, what are your electricity bills like in Florida? Not bad at all. My electric bill is more expensive in New York. And I can't believe it because, I have the tenants there and they blast the AC. And, this time of year, you don't even really need to turn on the air conditioning in Florida because at night it gets pretty cold. But they crank the AC. And I think my highest electric bill was like maybe $150 for the month. And I don't know why. That seems like very, very low. But the air conditioning is running all the time. The tenants, they cook. I have electric everything, right? There's no gas. Quinn says, why do I walk the same route? Oftentimes because I'm working, right? And I'm at the office and then I finish work late. So once I finish work, I turn on the live stream and work on this. So it's been hard for me to go to different places because this year's been busier than normal. So I work for, whatever it is, 8 to 12 hours a day, and then I walk around for 2 hours and do this. Nina says, Tom, super low bill, California light bill is high. I don't know if it's my appliances. I mean, everything is brand new. So I have, everything is from 2021. The appliances, I have all new electrical, I have a new electrical panel, everything. I mean, what about you guys? What is your typical electric bill per month? And I'd love to know where you guys are. Here's another good shot of the tree. Alex, Merry Christmas to you. From San Fernando Road, Burbank, California. What's going on? Wow, someone says $400 a month. NBA Lives as well. $150 is a steal. $225 here in California. Yeah, and that's with tenants. I mean, and tenants are not conservative. If they're not paying the bill, because I pay the electric and the water, everything. And I pay the internet too. So they don't pay anything, they just pay the rent. Hopefully. Donna's is $155 a month in Maryland. That's not bad, right? I mean, Joel PM says $40 to $50 a month in Portland, Oregon. Nina, this is $150. Water is $100, really? It's crazy. Banks is Northern Florida. The electric bill averages $200, not bad. Popcorns is $130 last month. Western Mass Dave says, Tom, you're a great landlord. Where have you been all my life? Yeah, so I don't charge anything. So I pay the electric, I pay the internet, I pay the water. You just got to pay the rent. That's all you got to do. And just don't destroy the house. Don't be loud. And you can do whatever you want. Jax is when are they moving out? Well, I did have a terrible tenant that just moved out, thank God. And then I had new people move in. I only had one bad experience with the tenant, and that was the most recent experience. I unfortunately got this crazy lady. Anyway, I won't even talk about it. All right, let's do one lap around here. Hey, Andy is here. 안녕하세요. Welcome to Rockefeller Center. Hey, what's up, Situation Room? Good to see you. Welcome to Rockefeller Center. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thanks for watching this year. Markets rebounded a little bit today, but I'm going to be out of commission for the markets. Look at all these Santa Claus. A lot of Santa Claus here. Let's see if we can see some of the ice skaters here. Hey, John Kelly. What's up, John? It's pretty windy here today, though. Pretty good view of 30 Rockefeller Center. I think from up here we may have a bird's eye view. Wow, the rink is actually pretty full. All right, we'll check it out from this angle. Hey, Mark's, where will you be on New Year's Eve? I'll probably be out walking around. I don't know if I'll be right in Times Square. I kind of like to just walk around the outskirts of Times Square on New Year's Eve. I don't really like to be kind of corralled in. But I think we may do a live show very, very early on New Year's Eve. Kind of do a behind the scenes like we did last year. Watch everybody kind of filling in. So maybe I'll start at like noon. We'll stream for 3 hours. Kind of check out the city. Everybody's setting up for the New Year's Eve celebration. I think it'll be pretty cool. I think this is probably my favorite view of the tree from this side. Can't believe the year's already over. Kind of wild. 2025. My birthday this year is going to be weird. Well, not weird. It's going to be 05 25 25. So I think 25 is my lucky number this year. Reggie says 2025 sounds futuristic. Very futuristic. I think in general, the number 5 is a lucky number. Well, everybody, my phone is about to die here. So I do want to thank everybody for coming out. And if you enjoyed the live stream on Christmas Eve, feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We will be live tomorrow on Christmas Eve, maybe from Lower Manhattan World Trade Center. But until then, we will see you all tomorrow. Have a very Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. God bless all of you. And I will see you tomorrow, either at 12 noon or 8:45. Thanks for everything this year, guys. Really do appreciate it. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. God bless all of you. We'll see you tomorrow. John Kelly, Western Mass Dave. Thank you so much. Storm Rider, KT, New England Crypto, Professor Dario, all of our moderators, Austin City Limits, Mohammed, Andy. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. We'll see you all tomorrow.